Keep the condom in the pack. This is Raw Truth for Protege. Today, we're going to get into that train derailment in Ohio. So, that's 5 trains apparently catch on fire. Now, took them a while to tell us, but apparently with this, we got an oil fill. See, if you don't know what those chemicals releasing in the air could have done, they could have caused bombs, and they could have created like an acid in the air. As of now, since it's been a couple of days or weeks or so or whatever, it's not really going to be a bombing problem, but there could be like acid in the soil and so forth, right? But the proper testing isn't being done, and the citizens of the state and in the surrounding area simply are saying they can still smell it in their house. They don't trust it, and that fish are still popping up dead in the water. These people in Ohio, the government is telling them, hey, the air is cool, the water is cool, but just in case, you know what I'm saying, drink some bottle of water. If you need to get the medical testing done, we could provide that every other, like environmental testing. I don't know about that. FEMA is, involved, but apparently it's too expensive for them, type thing. That's all the money we're giving to Ukraine. That's something, huh? That's very well something. But this is, before we get into how I feel about that, we have to get into how we got here today. We have a war between the government, businesses, they're teamed up, versus the railroad union. There's been a railroad strike going on for years, to the point where Obama has been involved in it, Trump has been involved in it, and now Biden has been involved in it. Just recently, a couple months ago, Biden forced this contract on the railroad union. It forces them to go to work, so basically they can't go on strike, and they don't get their sick days, and they don't get the crew members they think they should have to be required on a train, right? I don't understand how you can force a union to not strike. But whatever. Apparently, it was going to cost our economy and the businesses $2 billion a day, so this is why Joe Biden encouraged Congress to sign this contract. That takes away the people's right. But see, a couple years ago, safety regulations were on the table, right? And they didn't get the braking system they wanted because the railroad workers are like, we need, new safety regulations for the train, like a braking system, for example. And the businesses were like, okay, cool, yeah, actually, we're down with that. Everybody was down with that, and the investors were like, fuck no, we're not down with that. It costs too much goddamn money. Fuck you talking about? So, this is how we're getting here. This government staying involved in the business is a problem. And this is the point where Democrats are going to say things like, oh, well, this is why we should be forcing government to push regulations on businesses, as in, providing sick days, maternity leave, da-da-da-da-da-da. But if the government didn't force the union to go on strike, they would be able to just not go to work until the business gave them what they want. See, if this was going to cost the economy $2 billion a day, the businesses would have caved in, but instead they had the government do their dirty work. You don't want the government involved in business because they're always going to side with profit. Come on. Let's have some common sense, people. So, with this railroad strike we have here, the railroad union is just straight getting fucked, and the people should have more power than that. The government keeps taking it away, and we're not doing anything about that, huh? So basically what we're going to do here is they've opened the railroad up as quick as possible, and they're putting the people back in their homes, telling them, just like I said, wash up with Dawn soap. And in about a couple months, we're not going to talk about this shit no more. What we should be doing is the government should force the business to pay for all the damages they've caused and all the testing, the proper testing that needs to be done, no matter how much it costs. If they won't do that, then fuck your business, all right? The government could take care of the testing now, I guess, while they get the legal shit propered up, and then force the businesses to pay. That's not what they're going to do, of course. See, when it comes to the government being involved in business, it's never going to end well. That's just why we should leave it up between the workers and the business. Because if you can hurt the pockets of the government or business, you'll probably get what you want. But when you take away that power, do you even have any power? That's insane. But here we are today, dealing with low-key a crisis. Joe Biden is saying he'll do whatever he needs to do to help Ohio, but he can't provide the funds for the testing because it's not like a hurricane and some shit like that. See, normally, I don't never think the government should be bailing out a big business that caused such an accident. The business should be bailing their goddamn selves out. What the fuck? But when every couple of days all I see is articles about how we're just cutting checks for Ukraine, it seems kind of fucked up that we could help another country before we help our state. Plus, with us giving money to Ukraine, like, I thought we were trillions of dollars in debt. How the fuck do we even have money to cut checks for anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would understand if he was like, yo, we can't give you the funds because, you know, like, we just can't afford it type shit. That would make sense because we weren't cutting checks for Ukraine. But we've been cutting checks for everybody, you feel me? We just cut checks whenever we fucking feel like we need to. That's just what the fucking Fed, besides printing the money, and that's just what the government does, right? So no, government should not be bailing us out. And no, government should not be involved in big businesses at all. At all. That means even when it comes time to siding with the businesses. But would we ever get to that? This is Raw Truth. We're Protege. Oh shit, wait. Keep the condom in the pack. This is Raw Truth for Protege.